All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to lesson 10.3. This lesson is about adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing radical expressions. It's going to be us just doing the work. So let's show you how this works out. I think I'm all ready here. Yeah, we're all ready. All right. So to add or subtract radical expressions, what we are going to do is make sure we have like terms. So our like terms exist when things are the same. So like when we did this in chapter 1 this year, x's could only be put with other x's. So 3x plus 2x makes 5x's. Same type of an idea is going to happen here with our square roots. In order for us to add things together, they have to have the same thing underneath the square root. So 3 root 5 plus 2 root 5 is 5 root 5. You're not going to add the number of square roots there are, just like you're not going to say that this is x to the second. So they just stay what they are. So here's our first couple of examples, and we'll make this go fairly quickly. So you'll see I have a 6 root 5 plus a 2 root 5 minus a 5 root 5. All three of these have the same root 5. So the only actual math that we're doing is 6 plus 2 minus 5, and our answer is going to be something root 5. So if we combine those things, 6 plus 2 is 8, 8 minus 5 is 3, so then we get a 3 root 5 for our answer. And that's how this works. So on question B here, I'm going to say for you, I would like you to do this one on your own based off of what we just talked about. Look at the individual terms and combine the ones that go together with the sign in front telling you if you should add or subtract. So we'll talk about that one in class when you show up again. All right, on example 2, our job is to, again, we're going to combine like terms that we have. And in this case, we have some square roots that aren't so beautiful like the last ones. Actually, they're pretty nice, but we just need to simplify them first. So just like what we did on Tuesday this last week, on lesson 10.2, the first day, we're going to break up 27, we're going to break up 12, we're going to break up 75, and simplify them into a more simplified way. So 27 breaks up into a root 9 and a root 3, which turns just that part into a 3 root 3, combined with that 6 that was already out there. So this becomes an 18 root 3. Now my 12 turns into a root 4 and a root 3, and that becomes a 2 root 3, and that gets multiplied with the 8 that was already there. So now I have a positive 16 root 3. My 75 gets broken down into a square root of 25 and a square root of 3. So that becomes a 5 root 3 that is going to be multiplied to that 2. So I have now a 10 root 3. Now because all of these have a root 3, all we're going to do is add the 18, the 16, and the 10 to get our 44 root 3. And then that would be our simplified answer. So the process is just to simplify like we have been doing the individual chunks and then combine like terms. All right, the new idea from what we've been talking about, this one is how to multiply. So the process for multiplying is also kind of like when we distributed and had, I guess, like terms again. So you're going to multiply the coefficients together and then the radicands, which is the stuff underneath the square root sign, together. So what that means, if you don't understand my math lingo, that means that this 2 gets multiplied with this 4, and that this root 3 gets multiplied with this root 6. So it's kind of like we're distributing in a sense, but also just multiplying the things that go together. So 2 times 4 makes an 8. Root 3 times root 6 makes a root 18, and then we would simplify. So 18 turns into a root 9 and a root 2, and so that becomes a 2 root 2 combined with that 8 that was already there. So my official answer would be 16 root 2 for a simplified version. All right, now I'm going to ask for you to do this problem on your own. This is a big parenthesis right here so that you know that you're going to distribute to this problem. All right, very last problem that we're going to work on today. I'm going to bring it down. Oh no, those square roots, they didn't stick with it. All right, I'm going to bring them down here. I thought I had this differently made. Oh boy, oh boy. All right, so I fixed it so my fat face wasn't in the way anymore. Check this out. So you guys always struggle when there's this word-ish problem going on. It's easiest if we just draw a picture. So I'm going to draw this rectangle. Gosh, that's a good looking rectangle. And then I'm going to put in the side lengths. I have a 4 root 6 minus a 2 root 10. And then the other side is a 5 root 3 plus a 7 root 5. So what we are going to do is we're going to find the area. Remember, the formula to find the area of a rectangle is just base times height or length times width. For our case, it's just this number times this number. So we're going to end up doing some foiling stuff here. So I would like you to do this with me. Maybe you want to hit pause, see if you can do it without me, and then check to see if you got the same stuff. So I'm going to scroll down here and get some more space for me to multiply these two things together. So I have a 4 root 6 minus a 2 root 10. Those numbers are going to get multiplied to a 5 root 3 plus a 7 root 5. So let's do our firsts. When I multiply my first, it's a 4 times 5, which is a 20. It's a root 6 times root 3, which is a root 18. My next one will be my outers. So a 4 root 6 times a 7 root 5, that makes a positive 28 root 30. And then I go to my inners. A negative 2 root 10 times a 5 root 3 makes a negative 10 root 30. And then my lasts, a negative 2 root 10 times a 7 root 5 makes a negative 14 root 50. And then all we're going to do now is just simplify and see if we end up with some like terms that we can add or subtract together because we've simplified things. So let's check this out. 18 turns into a 20 times a 9 and a 2, so that becomes a 3 root 2. So 20 times a 3 root 2, which is a 60 root 2. And then plus this one over here, my red, 30 breaks down into, oh, get that calculator out. What's a nice number that goes with 34? See, 30. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. 30 divided by 4, no. 30 divided by 9, no. 16, 30 divided by 16, no. This is going to stay as a plus 28 root 30, folks. It doesn't break down any nicer than that. And then minus, okay, there we go. Minus my 10 square roots of 30. And then 50 breaks down into, okay, well, blue for you, into my 25 and 2. I almost wrote it 5 down, folks. So we're square rooting 25. That gets me a 5 root 2, because it's a square root of 2, times that negative 14. So 5 times 14, 14 times 5. I'm calculating this, folks. That's my minus 70 root 2. Now what we're going to do is we're going to combine our like terms. My ones in red here are similar, and then my root 2's will get combined together. So I will have a negative 10 root 2 from combining these two. And then I will also have in red a positive 28 plus 10, or minus 10 makes a 18 root 30. And then that would be the area in units squared that we got. Now that problem took quite a bit of time, folks, but the process was not incredibly different than what we have been doing for all the math that we've been doing this year. All right, folks, so that's 10-3. This is the Burma Nation. I am signing off. I hope you have a wonderful evening, morning, day, whatever the heck it is that you're watching this with. Enjoy, folks. Peace out.